This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and continually teach us this truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect that's laboring in his word and truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this could be an edifying video, and the title is going to be just like that, the famine of the word can come, or somewhere along those lines. Okay, because I want to go into, you got a lot of these apps down, and they're saying it's a worldwide thing. And this just goes to show you how fast, the Lord can shut all this, social media. He can shut all this shit down, and then you won't be able to get this truth. See, the time is going to come where those who didn't listen, they're going to wish that they did listen. Because a lot of people, though they may scoff and talk shit, they've heard certain, talking points, man. They've heard, the prophets speak about the MOTB, the prophets speak about, Jacob's trouble, martial law, famine, war, hyperinflation. They heard the prophets speak on all of these things. So that's why when they manifest, people are going to try to seek ultimately seek the Lord, because the Lord uses men that he has ordained and set up to be prophets. He used them to speak his message, to speak his word. Okay, Hosea goes into that. The Lord, it says, I have spoken by the prophets. Okay. But I want to go into this situation. Speaking to ChatGPT about it. So, we just going to pull out, what's going on. And, once again, this could be a edifying video. But I asked ChatGPT, I said, so reports of Snapchat and other apps being down today, what are all the apps that's down? And I'm seeing Snapchat down because I use it. And I ain't gonna lie, man, because, I'm talking to some fine shit on there, man. And it's like I ain't able to talk to her now because the app down. So it is what it is, It is what it is. But I see firsthand that Snapchat is down. But this is the bot responding. Here's a summary of what's going on. There's a widespread outage affecting many apps today, largely due to a disruption in Amazon Web Services, which I asked what is, because when I was reading this, all I saw was AWS. I didn't even see that he put, the bot put Amazon Web Services. So I asked it, I'm going to jump back up and read through that. But I asked it, so when you said the outage started in AWS, US East 1 region, and it has cascaded globally, I meant to put AWS, but the autocorrect put AWDs. But the bot said, good catch. It's actually AWS, not AWD. AWS stands for Amazon Web Services, which is Amazon's cloud computing platform. It's one of the biggest backbones of the internet. Tons of apps and websites rely on Amazon Web Services to run. Here's a simple breakdown. AWS is basically a giant network of computer servers all over the world. These servers store data, run apps, and host websites. When you open apps like Snapchat or Fortnite, a lot of what you see, messages, friends lists, images, game data, might actually be pulled from Amazon Web Services. So I'm gonna jump in. So in short, Amazon Web Services is the cloud system that powers many of the apps you use every day. When AWS breaks, the internet breaks with it. And that's what happened today. So the Amazon Web Services is down pretty much. Okay, so we're gonna go into what apps are down. So what we know, the outage started in the U.S. East region. Okay, it says AWS reported increased error rates and latencies for multiple services. Many platforms relying on AWS infrastructure were impacted. Some services have begun recovering, though some issues may still linger. It says some of the impacted apps and services. Here are some of the apps, services reported down or degraded. Not a complete list, but the major ones. So this isn't even the full list. You know, it says Snapchat. Many users reported being unable to send, receive messages, or log in. And Snapchat, you got a lot of people that use that. You got a lot of women that use it, for, because Snapchat is one of them apps where if you don't know what it is, you pretty much take a picture of something or a picture of yourself, and you can do a snap streak with somebody that increases your snap score, sending each other pictures with a message. Or you can actually text chat on there, or you can put pictures on your stories, for whoever doesn't know about it. I'm pretty sure all you brothers know. But that's going to cost certain people, because a lot of people, market on Snapchat. I've ran into a lot of women that they want to sell you content. They want to sell it to you through Snapchat, But it says Fortnite reported offline in multiple regions. A lot of people play that. Roblox, a lot of people play that. Signal, I don't know what that is. Venmo and Robinhood, financial apps. So if you got money on your Venmo or money on your Robinhood, hey, you screwed right now. And that goes to show you, once the economy crashes, your money that you thought was safe in a checking account, or you thought it was safe in a savings account, overnight, it can all be gone. It can all be gone. They could say it's a hack, something happened, the system's down, you're not able to access your money, Then what are you going to do? See, the Lord, he can flip everything in one day. In one day, he could cause your whole life to go into the shithole, man. Hey, we see what he did to, Job. Pretty much that all happened to him in one day. He was, them reports was coming in of, people close to him, dying. And, he went through a lot. It's been a little minute since I read the book of Job, but, that's just, a good example. But, the Lord, he can shut all this shit down, in one day. It says, Amazon services, Alexa, Amazon retail, some disruptions reported. Then it says other apps. So, let's see what else we want to read out of here. I think pretty much that's it. But it just goes to show you that, once again, the Lord can cause the famine of the word overnight. We could wake up tomorrow and you ain't able to use YouTube, you ain't able to use Facebook, you ain't able to use the internet at all. Or they could do something to where you ain't even able to get phone service. Because I remember like a year ago, they were giving government officials satellite phones. Why are they giving them satellite phones? So they can communicate when everything goes down. And it's coming soon, man. We're not going to be doing these videos forever. This is not a forever thing, man, of us going out on the highways and hedges speaking his word. The Lord is going to bring an end to the ministry, street speaking wise. I still see us, when the Lord used us to glorify his name, and, the Lord pair us with, other believers. I could see us, edifying them. But when it comes to street speaking, that time is about to come to an end. And ultimately, when we're in the kingdom, the scriptures say we shall not teach saying know the Lord, for all Israel is going to know the Lord. And when you read the new covenant, But I'm going to read this again. Isaiah chapter 55, verse 6. Seek ye the Lord, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. And the Lord is near because he has his prophets out. But the time is coming. He's going to pull his prophets from speaking his word. And then you're going to want answers, but it's going to be too late. This is Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. See, the Lord is going to bring a famine to where you're not going to be able to hear these words anymore. You know, we're not going to be speaking. We're not going to be going into these scriptures anymore, man. You know, we're going to be demonized, persecuted. And I can see, you know, over what's the word I want to use? Pretty much an unwise, you know, guy that the spirit ain't dealing with him, still trying to go out and preach. You know, we're going to know when it's time to stop. You know, whether an order come down from on top or, you know, the spirit is just going to tell us, you know. And that's when a majority of our people going want to hear, but it's going to be too late. This is Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. So it's going to come a time you're going to try to, you know, find this. You know, you're going to wish that you took heed, but it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late, man. What the hell is this guy doing, man? Yeah, it's going to be too late to seek Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. You know? When once we stop preaching, that's when the Lord is he's fully going to open up on his judgment, man. He's going to judge a lot of people. Okay, it's going to be a spiritual sword. You know, the Lord is going to swing, man. Okay? But you know, that this time is coming, man. And we've had, you know, these apps go down. You know, Instagram will go down for like 8 hours, and then it's back up. And then people posting, oh, it's down. You know, people upset they can't log in and, you know, see how many likes they got. And, you know, people kind of scramble for a minute, and then it comes back. And that gives people the mentality that, you know, it's always going to come back. It's always going to be restored. They're always going to fix it. No. The Lord there's going to come a time where the Lord is going to leave this shit down, man. You know, he's going to leave this shit down. I'm going to get one last scripture. Sirach chapter 5, verse 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance. See, the Lord can do this thing suddenly. Just like the scriptures say, suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall be empty. Okay, Babylon is suddenly falling. That's how the Lord likes to, you know, get down, man. Okay, see, those that's watching, we can see what time we in. We see what's coming. So we're expecting it. But everybody else that's in the world, it's going to catch them off guard, man. It's going to be like they got, you know, blindsided, got sucker punched. But, you know, it's because you didn't want to listen to the prophets of the Lord. You know, then you're going to want to listen, but it's going to be too late. But just want to do this quick video. Lord willing, it was edifying. With that, I'm going to say shalom.